Okay, it's about mid-April and we're ready to transplant some of the seedlings we've sown earlier. These ones here are Brussels sprouts. They were sown the end of February, early March, and they were transplanted into pots once they reached a certain size. Then they were hardened off over about the space of a week to make sure that they were well acclimatized, and they're now ready to go into the ground. So I've already watered all my pots of Brussels sprouts and I've set them out at their spacings. They're going to be very big plants, so they need about 80 to 90 centimeters between plants, which seems a lot, but they will take up that space eventually. To plant any brassicas, you need to plant them deep and you need to plant them firm. The soil here was prepared by adding homemade compost. So I need to dig a hole deeper than what the way the plants are in the pot now. To take them out, put one hand over the pot, spread out your fingers so that you can hold on to the plant when it comes out. Turn it upside down and gently squeeze and it should come out quite easy. You can see it's been in the pot a while, it has rooted through, so it's well ready to go into the ground. Transfer it in. And as you see, it already has a little collar on it. I'll explain the reason for that in a minute. So it's in there quite deep. Push the soil back around it, and you can plant as deep. There's one leaf broken, but that's not going to be too bad. Up to plant as deep as where the first set of leaves there is coming out, and make sure you firm it in well. Okay, so the collar that was already on it was there to prevent the cabbage root fly to lay its eggs at the base of the plant. If that happens, the little maggots, when they hatch, will eat away at the roots and they will leave you a plant without roots that will wither and die. So this collar is just made from a little yogurt pot lid. You could use cardboard or something like that as well. So it has to go snug around the base of the plant, and that should prevent any damage. Another problem we might have, especially if it starts raining again, is going to be slugs and snails. So what I have here is a lot of crushed up eggshells, which I'm very generously putting around the plant. Slugs and snails crawl on their bellies and they don't like going over something sharp like the eggshells, and that should help keep them away until the plant is well enough established so that a few nibbles won't make any difference. Once that is in, the only thing I've left to do is to do some watering. And give it a really good watering in. And then you can continue on with the rest of the plants. As you can see, there's a lot of space here. Eventually the plants will need that space, but it'll take some time until they get to that size. So what we're going to do now, is plant a little catch crop, something that can grow and mature while these plants are growing bigger. So because these are brassicas and we want to keep to our crop rotation, you could sow any of these fast vegetables. There are turnips, different types of turnips. You could use radish, you could use any of the oriental vegetables, or rocket, that's an oriental vegetable as well. So let's do some turnips. Just to make sure, even though we had some rain, that this is moist enough, I'm going to water the seeds through. Let that soak in. And these are quite small seeds, so you can just sprinkle them as you go along, so that they're not touching. Another row later on. You can sow these in succession, so in a few weeks' time when they start germinating, I can sow another short row of turnips, and that will make sure that we have a consistent supply of the vegetable. Cover them over. And don't forget to label them. So these are turnips. And these are Brussels sprouts. Okay. Okay, something else you can plant out now if you've sown them already are broad beans. I also have something ready there, some supports ready for the runner beans, but it's way too early for them to be planted out. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant a row of broad beans here, and later on, if they do need support, I can either support them by an individual small bamboo stick, or set up a little bit of a trellis of bamboo, whichever is better suited at the time. So to take them out, again, just put your hand over it, squeeze the pot gently, and again they've rooted through quite well, ready to go in. They don't need to be planted particularly deep, and it's not as essential to firm them in as much as we did with the Brussels sprouts. So, and they don't need much space, they need about 15 centimeters between them. So the next plant will be immediately beside it. The label there. Be careful, the stem is quite sturdy, but still be careful not to damage the stem. And on it goes, so a whole row and then another row possibly of broad beans. And just not to forget to do some watering.